Hi everyone, Dark Ramos here with the Volume Profile Nerd. I'll go over my trade review for Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. And yeah, today was a day of overtrading and kind of issues with my broker. So I'm using Tradeovate and it was having a few issues today. So not going to really put too much emphasis on today. There were a few moments where I felt had the broker been working a bit better, I think I could have benefited from a few trades I was looking at. But in general, I felt like I just kind of overtraded and could have pumped the brakes a bit throughout the day, especially with some of the Tradeovate issues. So I did do my morning prep and I posted that on the YouTube channel. And essentially what I was looking at on ES and NQ was the fact that we opened under the value area low of yesterday on NQ, and we did get above it, but couldn't find acceptance back into yesterday's value. And on ES, we also opened below yesterday's value, and yeah, we had the open around here, and we couldn't get acceptance back into yesterday's value either. But NQ initially started off a bit stronger, but then relative strength and weakness shifted throughout the day because XLF pretty much bounced all day today, and XLV was weak, but the fact that XLF was bouncing and then NQ pulled back, ES picked up some relative strength. So ES went sideways today while NQ pulled back a little bit, but not too bad. Yeah, it wasn't too much relatively weaker, but it was the weaker sector. So I looked to NQ to play short. Initially on the morning, I did look long because I did notice the relative strength initially. Yeah, with XLF being a bit weaker and XLV was bouncing, but it just looked like NQ was a bit stronger on the morning. And there were the daily levels I was looking at as well, and the hourlies that I went over in my morning rundown. So throughout the day, basically I'll go over the first trade I took because I think that's a bit relevant. So on the morning, we opened on NQ, we opened here, we bounced above the open for quite a bit. And again, for NQ, for me, the ruling reason for NQ was this range from Friday, this sideways range that set the POC, I think, for Monday. So I was looking at this range again to see if sellers would find acceptance below it, and it pretty much held. It was kind of like the regular trading hours low as well for NQ. So that was kind of my ruling reason. And, for me, it was either buyers would hold this range or we'd get back into yesterday's value. And so I was just kind of like gauging that and just seeing, what that would look like. So initially on the morning, it looked like NQ was going to hold that range from Friday, and we oscillated above the open, and I was just watching this sideways range. We were just going pretty much sideways. We got below the open, and once we got back above the open, I decided to go long, playing off of the kind of value area low of this range, which coincided with the open. I decided to go long, and so I went long here, pretty much above the open, and I got 2 contracts on NQ, and once we rejected from developing POC, here, I exited the position here for a very small win, but on the minis, it's still pretty decent. It was about 4 points on the minis, a little less, which is fine. I'll take that win on the morning. And after that, Tradeovate was just having a lot of issues, so I didn't trade. And I was just dealing with Tradeovate issues. And after that, I kind of, had to work on some other things. So I did that. I didn't trade any of this price action, but essentially we got back into yesterday's value, got below, got back above. So we just kind of oscillated in between yesterday's value. We couldn't, buyers and sellers couldn't really decide. Like, we had a range below yesterday's value, a sideways range above into yesterday's value, broke below, and then after that we couldn't find acceptance back into yesterday's value. So yeah, so that's what I was looking at. And then what I was looking at on the hourly, so here, let me see where it is on the 1 minute. Yeah, so I was noticing this 428.52 range on the hourly, and I'll just showcase that real quick. So this range right here, and I was just observing the value area low of this range, and seeing if buyers or sellers would get acceptance back into this 331.45 range, so the hourly. So we just kind of oscillated between this range and this range below and couldn't find acceptance into either or. The one thing that did have me a bit bearish on NQ was this daily range, and we couldn't get acceptance back into the 4.556 range. We were just oscillating kind of below the value area low of this range, and this gave me confidence for some plays that I'll go over in a second. But essentially, once I saw here that we could potentially get back into this range below, I tried to go aggressively short. So this range right here is from the range from Friday, and I think I try to go short here, and just a few places try to go short, and I think I tried to go short here and just got, a lot of paper cuts here because I tried to short too much here, thinking that we were going to rotate to the value area low here, which we didn't. We kind of, for me, this is a big learning lesson because sellers couldn't get to the regular trading hours low, and we just kind of oscillated around the POC from that Friday range, and we couldn't get to the regular trading hours low. But I was pretty adamant thinking that we were going to rotate to the value area low here, especially seeing that NQ was below this daily value area low, and we were on the hourly. Let's see here. Yeah, on the hourly, we were getting back into this range below. So I thought we could either rotate to the POC here, and on the daily, we could get to this value area high. Given the context of the day, though, that we were going sideways, I should have been more aware that it could just be a balanced day, and we had multiple passes through the open, here, very low confidence day, and that should have, tipped me off to be less aggressive, looking for significant moves in either direction. So just going to take a mental note of that. When we have a lot of passes through the open, that means just look for quick plays and, don't look for home runs, essentially. Just quick plays from, specific daytime frame references to others, or from specific value areas, either on the 1 minute, hourly, or daily, looking to get from one location to another, but mostly using daytime frame references for quick plays. So I did get chopped up a bit here. I did take a trade. I think it was NQ. Let's see, NQ. Yeah, I took a trade. This was one of my better trades, I think. 11.57. Actually, no, this was a decent trade. I took a short here, and then I cut it here. And I think I meant to sell half here, and I only had one contract or something like that. And yeah, so it was kind of like a small win here. But the idea was that we would either reject from this range here that I drew, but I entered here and my stop was above the value area high, or the value area low. So, gave a lot of wiggle room on that, and then, got this move down here. My next play, I got stopped out by a few ticks here. So I did play NQ here, where I went short right here, thinking that we wouldn't get much acceptance above the value area low. And at this point, we were approaching the value area low of this daily range. So I had some confluence there, and I had this 1 minute range was from from the pre-market. So I had this 1 minute range that I felt was pretty sideways, so I thought that might come into play. So just a bit of confluence there with that 1 minute range, the value area low of yesterday, and the value area low of the daily range from 425, 5622. So entered a short here, set my stop at 13294, kind of right at the value area low here. Sold half to get risk free here, and then got stopped out right there to the tick. And that was a bit annoying, but it was a risk free play. I then realized that this play was still valid. So I entered a short here, and my stop was above here. And I only had one contract because, again, my broker was kind of messed up and it wasn't working correctly. I meant to get two contracts so I could de-risk down here and then let it ride to at least the regular trading hours low or the overnight low. And my target actually would have been the value area high of this range at 13,216, which I see now is a bit aggressive given the context of the day and the kind of multiple passes through the open. It was a bit aggressive, so I think I probably would have cut it either at the at this POC here. That would have been a good spot, or the regular trading hours low. Had I left the trade get to target, I probably would have cut it here actually, because it's the end of the day and I don't want to hold for the rest of the day. But yeah, essentially I was looking for some lower targets. So let's see, I took the trade here. Yeah, so or 13,260 would have been a good place to cut it. It's the value area high of 331.45. So anywho, but I entered here, and then we got this big move down to the open, and had I had two contracts, I think I would have got risk free on this move down, but I only had one contract, so I decided to 1 minute stair step it, and we broke the 1 minute stair step here, and it was a small win. And in hindsight, like, had I left my stop where it was up here, we couldn't get back into yesterday's value, like rejected from the value area low almost to the tick. And then that was kind of the high for the rest of the day. We just had this move down from there. And then after that, this is where I kind of lost context of the day, because after that, I tried to aggressively go short, like here off the POC of that Friday range. I tried to go short probably here. In a few places I tried to go short and just got chopped up here. And thinking that we were going to reject from this POC and head to the regular trading hours low, which we did. But after we bounced to the overnight low, got a bit above it, and then we got to the regular trading hours low here, which was kind of frustrating because, I did try a few shorts here, and the move that I was looking for got going after, and just didn't manage the trades well here. Could have been a bit more patient, just didn't really like how I traded here. My thesis was good, but I think my trade location could have been better. It could have been at the value area high of the Friday range, enter here and set my stop a few points up and to get to the regular trading hours low, and that would have worked out. But just a little bit too eager, thinking that after this big move down, we were going to reject from the POC to head to the regular trading hours low. But we oscillated around the POC for quite some time, bounced, held the POC, bounced again, and then we got the move down. So some good learning lessons there. The main learning lesson is, if we have multiple passes through the open, it's usually a low confidence day, could be a balanced day, rotational day, and for me to be less aggressive, looking for bigger moves. And we kind of just it was a balanced day. Playing off the ends of the extremes of the range would have worked out. Here off the POC, value area low, value area high, and then we pulled back from there. So a good day in learning how to read these rotational days, and I think overall my thesis was pretty good, and my levels I think came into play. We couldn't get back into the range of 425.56 here on NQ, and again that play right here, there was a lot of confluence with this value area low on the daily and the value area low from yesterday, which was right here, and this range from pre-market. and that pretty much marked the high for the day at around 2 p.m. Eastern. And so I think, some of my thesis was pretty good today. I think it was just execution could have been better. And again, not putting too much emphasis on today because the broker was having issues. And I think when I tried to get 2 contracts, it didn't fill me with 2. I tried to mark it in, it wasn't working. And so, yeah, not putting too much emphasis. But for me, the biggest takeaways are to know when to pump the brakes and, not over trade. I took too many trades here and here. And I think with this trade, I could have gave a little bit more wiggle room, like set it a little bit above the value area low of this balance from pre-market. And had I got 2 contracts here, I think this would have been a really nice trade on this contract. And I didn't have to 1 minute stair step. I could have had more confidence that we would hold the value area low because I cut it a little bit too early. I could have left my stop and then let that 1 contract ride. But that's the benefit of having 2 contracts because you can get risk free and then you don't really have to worry about the trade after that. But because I only had 1 contract, I didn't want to get stopped out 1 contract knowing that I wasn't risk free. So I just cut it here for, 4 points or something like that. But yeah, those are the biggest takeaways. Could have pumped the brakes a bit today with the trading, especially given the broker was having issues. But hopefully those broker issues are fixed. And looking forward to tomorrow where I don't have to deal with those broker issues. It's a little bit unsettling when there are broker issues, and something I'm just going to be aware of. And, next time I see that, it's just going to be like a big pump the brakes. Maybe you don't have to trade today, take a break and, not worry too much about it. But yeah, my morning prep, I did post it on my channel where I go over all these levels. And this is how I kind of use those levels today to make these plays and the day time frame references. So the big question for me will be, will we get acceptance under that range from Friday? Buyers are doing a good job holding it. Sellers would have to get under this value area low here, I feel, to start proving something and to get back into Friday's candle. If not, then buyers are still good and we could have had, higher and essentially, yeah. So if buyers don't get to this range down here, to the value area high, and get back into this range, then I think we could get to this POC here. And that's NQ, so we'll see. NQ, I think it was relatively weaker today, so we'll see. I think NQ will have to pick up some slack because it has been the stronger sector. If NQ starts pulling back, then I'm not sure if ES can hold up because XLF did okay today. XLF held up. But yeah, and XLV was a bit weaker. But yeah, anyways, I'm not going to get too much more into it. That was my day today. Good day of learning kind of rotational days, and felt like I did have a good feel or pulse on it. Yeah, just execution and broker, kind of issues and a little bit of overtrading in general. So those are things I'm going to clean up for tomorrow. And yeah, look forward to tomorrow's trading day. But that's all I got for today. Thanks everyone for watching. I didn't play ES because I did feel like NQ was the weaker sector. And so given the tempo and just the feel for the day, I wanted to be in the weaker sector for the short. Didn't do a lot of long plays except that first morning play. But yeah, NQ was the relatively weaker sector today, as we can see. We just had kind of downtrends most of the day on this NQ divided by ES chart. All right, so yeah, I'm officially done. That was my trading day for today. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll post my rundown tomorrow in the morning as well. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next trade review. Thank you.